Good afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome back to Dragonfly. Guess what?
We're better.
We're feeling better.
Yeah.
Woohoo! It's been a whole week, I think, pretty much exactly a week today
Yes.
since we had our days of darkness, I guess, if that's what you want to call
I don't
it.
know what it was. It was just a little bit of gloom.
It was
a little bit of,
grumpy, a little bit of...
We talked about how we were just not feeling it,
Yeah, and then
Things
the moon
weren't coming-
came,
yeah.
and then it was over.
Yeah.
It was kind of felt like all that labor and getting ready and pushing and stuff, and then the moon came and the baby was born and it was over.
Yeah. If that's how you want to relate it to, is having a childbirth.
We gave birth. And here we are, much happier. So.
Much happier. The difference is just crazy.
It is. And I can't explain it.
I don't know.
And unfortunately, we didn't get any comments, which, please, if you go back and watch it, leave us a comment, because we're still curious as to what may have been going on, and we don't know.
The only thing we can think of is because it was a full moon.
And there was so much with it being the super moon and the partial eclipse, and, who knows? I think it was just a time for us to go inside and really do some deep reflecting and alone time. I know I spent a lot of time just wanting to be by myself.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I felt like that, and mostly just because I didn't want it to convey my grouchiness to everyone.
Yeah,
because I felt I was grumpy and I needed to be alone.
I knew that I was not in a good space, and that it probably was gonna not put other people in a good space either. So,
but when I have felt that before, I've always felt like it's past. And it's kind of, I think we I hate to bring this up, but it relates to like your menstrual cycle right before that.
Yeah.
I'm past that point, but that's how we talked about it one day.
It's
we were joking.
Here it's coming.
Whoa. Oh. And that's always a sore point in women's lives.
It is,
but it was true back then, and I felt like maybe
emotional.
Yeah, emotional,
very emotional. But that's over, and we have moved on. And I don't know. I just, after that moon passed, I just felt like I was a completely different person.
I did too.
I mean, I physically felt better. I mentally felt better.
Energetic.
Everything just changed, and it was kind of cool now that I look back. I mean, it was terrible going through it, but here we are.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sandy and I are, well, she's more than me, but dreamers, and we both kind of had this dream about. Mine was about driving, and I was in a car with my mom and my son. And for whatever reason, my mom needed to stop for hamburger buns or hot dog buns or something. And we were in a big town, and not a very nice part of town. I mean, I did not think that we should be stopping at this little convenience store to get buns when we could get them when we were further out of the city. And they were totally insistent on stopping at this convenience store, and I'm like, please, let's just keep driving. Why do we have to stop here for buns? This is not, we should not be here.
Right.
So in me, it was like they were okay with whatever, wherever it was, they felt fine. I, on the other hand, did not. So, and then Sandy kind of had a kind of the same feeling from her.
Feeling a similar dream. I was in a workplace. My old boss was actually starting a class for bowls, where she was the bowls instructor, and you had to sign up previously for this bowls class, and all kinds of other people were in the bowls class. I unfortunately missed the sign up, and so they said I couldn't participate. So I sat in the back of the room thinking, wow, I don't know why I can't participate, but that's okay. I have better things to do. I can go find another bowls class, whatever it was that I was felt like, I felt excluded, but I also knew that I had an opportunity to go somewhere else, but somewhere better. And I hopped in my car, we were talking about how it was weird how both of us, were
In a
in a
car.
car finding the place to go.
And we knew there was someplace
Better.
better. Like,
Right.
why
Okay.
do we have to stay here?
Exactly. We had this dream the very same day.
Yes.
Night, evening,
Yes.
morning, whatever.
Yeah. And it was like, get in the car
And
drive to
go.
the next place or wherever it is you're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better.
Yeah, I knew there was somewhere
These people
better.
may not know it.
Right. But for them, it was okay.
Right. It was okay. But for us, it's like, that ain't good enough.
Right.
I mean, that is not where we should be.
Yeah. I was okay, but just finally when I came under the realization that was okay, that I wasn't.
Was that after we got through this, or was
Yes, it was after.
It was
It was probably the Wednesday, because I was driving into work and we talked about it on my way to work. It was so funny how both of us had the very relatable dreams.
Yeah.
And then
as the week went on, we got better and better and better and better and better.
Also, many of the things that we were listening to or reading or whatever, you talked about this as well, that a couple of the tarot readers were saying that, listen to your own inner voice.
Yeah.
And how that's so important, that what is something good for someone else and what they're maybe expressing or saying that you should be living by or whatever, maybe doesn't necessarily fit into your norm.
Right.
And I think that's another lesson that we were supposed to go through, is that
there was a lot of, like, trust me, through this whole awakening journey, whatever you call it, I just have just been thirsting for knowledge. I mean, whether it's reading a book, listening to a book, buying books, going online, watching YouTube videos. I mean, just like anything I could get my hands on to try to figure out. And that's kind of like why we started this channel, because we know that there's people out, because a lot of the stuff we were coming across was so far ahead of me that I didn't have any clue what they were talking about.
But you knew something was transforming.
But I knew something was happening.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see, I didn't want somebody who's saying, oh, I'm channeling I don't know, whatever in the sky, and it's telling me that you should do this and do that and the whole time I remember watching some of those and going, that is not for me.
Right.
That doesn't feel like what is going on with me. And so I think that was some of the realization that Sandy and I kind of came to through this last week of what we were going through, where Spirit was trying to tell us, look, you don't need all that stuff or people to tell you, because you can feel it inside. And I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we could tell you guys that, oh yeah, we've seen this and we've seen that, and but that's my story. That's her story. And we're going to share, we'll share things with you, but you all have your own story. Exactly. And you all have your own journey, and you all have the ability to listen and watch and hear all the signs, the same signs being sent to you, or different signs being sent to you.
And maybe even different ways. You're right.
Yeah.
Because one of our very first video, if you go back, is we said we all have a story.
Yes.
And we're going back to that, because it's like we have our own journey. You have your own journey. And I think sometimes we try to mold ourselves into other people's reality, perspectives, whatever. And and we can't do that.
And in the beginning, I think is me and Sandy, or me and Renee, we kept trying to kind of compare ourselves to the other and be like, oh, well, you're further ahead on that than I am, or but that's not true, because we all have our own gifts, and we all are taking the journey at a different pace, in a different direction, in a different, and so we just want you to know that don't always believe everything that's out there. whatever you feel in your heart and in your soul,
Mm-hmm.
it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Follow that. I
Mm-hmm.
would rather you follow that than what someone else is trying to tell you that you need to do or believe, or
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And like in anything, in any religion, you have to find your space, your place where you
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's where you belong.
Exactly.
And one of the things that kept on popping up after we kind of went through that slump after the moon, the full moon, um the numbers started to appear
Mm-hmm.
again.
Yeah. In fact,
Every
when we just got ready to start this, I go, oh, it's 444.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they're coming back.
They're
They're
coming
coming
back.
back.
Yeah, I think it was our signals to say, you guys are doing fine. This is the path that you're given, and this is your path, your specific life
It's
that
kind
you
of
to
like
live.
teaching a kid to walk. I mean,
Yeah,
at some point you got to let go of their hand, right?
yeah.
And just let them walk. And I kind of feel like that's what Spirit was doing with us last week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're still right here, kind of hovering around you to make sure you're okay. But you can walk on your own. You can do this. And that's kind of what it felt like, like they were still there, because they would here and there just send us like little
Itty
teeny tiny
bitty.
snippets, like, don't worry, take
Mm-hmm.
the steps, you can do
Mm-hmm.
this. And we did, and here we are.
Yeah. And
We're walking.
even at the end of that last video, I think both of us kind of it was an epiphany on how we're like, well, gosh, I guess there was a lot of good things that happened this week,
Yeah.
and I think we came, to realize that even though we were feeling a little bit on the downside, there was still a lot of good things
Yeah, there
happening.
was. That
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of this thing I saw on my Facebook. It was something.
Mm-hmm.
It was a conversation people were having about what annoys them when they go to a restaurant,
Okay.
and it was all like screaming kids running around, or
Mm-hmm.
it was, well, the food. I'm sorry, I got like a frog in my throat. The food wasn't as good as I wanted it to be,
Mm-hmm.
or I didn't see them sanitize the rag before they wiped off the table, or
Oh.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
And what my response to that was, why not see the gratitude and the joy? Like, okay, I know little kids are running around and they probably should be sitting at the table behaving themselves, but they're little kids. But how grateful should you how joyful should you be that you see these healthy little kids that aren't sitting in a wheelchair, or having fighting some type of cancer where they aren't able to be at a restaurant. And I thought about that, and I thought about like how nice it is that you have the money to go
Yes.
out and eat, and how nice it must be to sit at a table with people that you love that are still here on the earth with you, that you get to have dinner with. And if it's not your thing and you can't get past that, you can always, if you don't want to cook, then order out and take it to the park where it is quieter, or take it home and light a candle and have your own little dinner at home, if those things get under your skin.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on this and say,
Yeah.
well, parents should keep their kids under control, and I understand that kids should have manners, and but you all know, if you've had children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews, kids will be kids.
Oh,
and when they decide
absolutely.
to act up, they're gonna Sandy wants to so no, just kidding. They're gonna act up. But again, look at the joy of the gratitude part of it, the wonderful things about all the things that annoy you.
So many blessings,
And that's
just
kind of
being-
what we were saying was,
Right.
last week we were so annoyed with everything.
We were annoyed.
But when we stopped to think about it, even though we were annoyed, it brought so many beautiful things.
Yeah, we realized that we were missing so many things that were so apparent.
Yeah.
And so, obvious that it should have been obvious that we should have been grateful for.
Yep.
And you guys, correct us when we're wrong, because, I mean, we were definitely probably kind of like wallowing in our little sorrow,
Little
a
bit.
little bit. But correct us. Let us know.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys got each other. You guys have
A roof
a
over
roof
your
over
head.
our
You got
head.
meals to eat every
That's
day. You got a
right.
job to go to. You got,
Exactly.
you know, it's so easy to go down that dark path
Yeah,
where it's like, oh,
it
well, this ain't
is.
going right, and that's not going right, and I'm not feeling right, and
It is.
my mind is a. Da, da, da. It's so and maybe that's what they were trying to show us is
Yeah,
like, be very careful because
exactly.
it's very easy to get sucked in and go down that road instead of staying on this one,
Exactly.
you know, and
Yeah,
yeah, it was definitely a learning
I
moment.
think it was. I think
And now
it
that we
was.
talk about it, I'm thinking even more learning than I thought,
Probably.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So a lot of good things. A
yeah,
lot of
a
good
lot.
things. I was really, I feel like I'm at ease. I feel
Mm-hmm.
very, very, just relaxed.
Me too.
And I don't feel like of course the annoyance is
No,
was so annoying.
it was so annoying to be annoyed. Yeah. So, um, and how we got through that, let me just tell you, it was a lot of, for me, I don't, Sandy can tell you how she got through it, but for me, it was a lot of solitary moments of just me.
Yeah.
Me finding ways to just be in the moment and
Exactly.
just breathe through it and know that it too shall pass. And it did, but I just had to trust and believe that I wasn't going to be stuck in that forever. It was whatever the moment was, it was. And I don't
Same
know.
here. Same here. It just I needed a little time. I needed a little patience. And maybe patience with myself and others to be patient with me. And
And
sometimes
we did ask for that.
yeah, we did. I think sometimes it's important just when my husband said, "Are you going to be nice to me today?" And I'm like, well, there's something I don't know, something's just bothering me, and I just need maybe to go to bed a little earlier tonight,
Yeah.
or lay in my bed
Yeah.
and say my prayers, that type of thing. I know that I talked to you a couple times, and you're like, "Yeah, I just went to bed and I said my prayers," and I think that's what we needed.
Yeah, just that alone time. And for people just to understand that everybody has a moment. And that goes for us too, as far as seeing other people. I mean, it's like I try to be as understanding as I possibly can because I know that people are going through stuff that I don't have any idea what they're going through. And so if I can go just to a place of compassion for them, knowing that something is making them that way.
Yep.
We
talked about
I
that
don't have to know
before.
what it is.
Right.
It's not my business to know what it is, but
why people come into work grumpy, and they may have just gotten a fight with their loved ones, or they may have gotten an accident, whatever it may have been. But you're right, we don't know what others are going through, and it's important to be sympathetic towards that.
And if you guys are starting to get to know us, but if you knew us on a daily basis, we're not like that. So if I were like, that's why I think the people that really loved us and cared about us were like, doo, something is going on. What is going on?
Exactly.
It was like, I'm like I think we talked about it. Like my son had come over and he was just like, I know something's up with you. And, I'm not going to ask anything of you. I'm just going to sit here. I am froggy. The weather here is changing, and it's kind of drizzly today. Which thank you Jesus for the rain, because we finally got some yesterday, and I think it had been like over a month.
It was getting
since
so
we got
dry,
rain,
right?
And but I think the temperature's starting to drop along with the rain.
Yeah.
And so like my sinuses
headaches are coming on.
My eyes are burning today. So we kind of, if you'll notice, we're like a little bit warmer color here going today because we put the one we usually use on and we were like, oh geez, it feels like.
And it's getting darker sooner. So it's definitely just a big change and a lot of things, and I think that's good. It's kind of the way Earth is just cleansing itself and hopefully getting to a new vibration, new energy.
We told you that we weren't going to be having our bowls class with the normal place and bowls player. Um, but
but
we scraped it all together and brought together our soul sisters and Sandy's daughter. And guess what? We're gonna get together and have bowls, and hopefully
yeah,
we
maybe
can
do a little
just
tape.
get it rolling
Yeah.
and we'll tape and we'll share it with you, because
Mhm.
for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, you'd rather watch that than us, but it tended to get a lot more
It
views.
got a lot of views.
When we posted on the them playing the bowls.
Yes.
So we will definitely share that with you again. If you enjoyed that, that was obvious. So
Yes.
we will put that back out there for you to watch whenever you feel like you need it. And,
Yes.
so I'm very excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. We're
Yes.
gonna.
We're going to have some of our tribe come. I got plenty of seating here. I told them if they want to bring their mats or their, they can.
And it's so relaxing down here
Oh,
because she's got candles and
it's unfinished. I mean, it's an unfinished basement, but hey, it does the job. It's comfortable.
It's got everything we need.
It gets everything
and
we
more.
need. Yeah, so
we're very excited about that. So we will be sharing that with you. Renee and I, which you have not had a chance to meet her yet, but you are going to get to meet her soon. We are taking a trip together to go ground ourselves. And we're going to put our feet in the sand and try to soak up as much energy as we can from the ocean and from each other. And I think I'm going to do a little taping there.
Yes, you need to.
So that you guys can, feel it too.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about that. I haven't actually been on any kind of a vacation for a few years, just because I don't know, I didn't really have anywhere to go, or anywhere that I really wanted to go, but for whatever reason, this just came up, and we're like, you know what?
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Why was it perfect? Is because some of your angel numbers popped
up. I've told you in previous videos, but I'll tell you again. My grandma always comes to me in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and she's always given me signs. Bless her cute little heart. And so I was kind of going like, should we do this? Should we not do this? Should we do this? Should we not do this? And so I went to book the airline tickets, and the flight that came up for us to leave from here was flight number 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I know. That is.
And so I told Renee,
amazing.
I go, guess what the flight number is? And she's like, what? And I go, 1, 2, 3, 4. And she's like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
And so then, even as I'm going along making these reservations, I'm like, I don't know, is this really where I want to go? Is this, should I spend this money? Blah, blah, blah. And then I go to pay for the tickets, and I didn't even know that I had like $199 credit on this airline. And so then that brought the tickets practically down to nothing. And so I'm like, okay.
All right. If that wasn't a sign.
If you guys aren't trying to tell me that I really need to go put my feet in the sand and draw some energy from the ocean, then if you ain't, if you aren't getting these signs, then you probably shouldn't be going. So anyway, I guess I'm meant to go.
So we have a lot of exciting things coming up.
We do.
So I'm excited to see some of that. I can't wait to see what you and Renee come up with.
I know, and I'm kind of hoping you could get Cece or somebody to put together a little snippet of your trip to Mexico City, because man, she did some really amazing things there.
The pyramids,
and
the balloon
her
ride.
hot air balloon ride, and the places she got to see and go to, and I think you guys would really enjoy it, because I enjoyed just looking at the pictures. So we'll try to, maybe share that with you guys too, if we can get her to like throw something together.
Because it'd be kind of a great ending to this year, because we do have some trips coming up. We have bowls coming back. We're going to get together with our tribe.
Yep.
I do have another trip coming in December.
She does.
So I hope to share that with you as well. So I'd like to get our year wrapped up as being a very successful year.
It has been. It has been a great year.
It has gone so quick.
I can't even believe we're talking.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What happened?
Well,
I blinked my eyes and it's like it was over. But
yeah,
I am so looking forward to 2025.
I am too.
I don't know, something in my heart's just like
Mm-hmm.
2025. You
Mm-hmm.
know, 25 is 7. My birthday is on the 16th, so that's a 7.
Yeah.
And 7 is my lucky number, so I'm thinking 7 sevens all the way. We
Yes.
got some serious sevens coming up here, so I'm just feeling really good about 2025,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
hope you guys are too. But since we're not there yet, we're going to continue
We're
to
gonna
live in
live
the
in
moment.
right now. Right now we're
Yep,
living, and I think we're taking advantage of every second.
we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and we
Yep.
hope you guys are too. Leave us a comment, subscribe, share, like. We would really appreciate it. If there's anything you guys want to talk about or you want
Yeah.
have questions for us. But we just wanted to hop on here real quick and just let you guys know that we're okay.
Yeah.
We are more than okay.
And we want you to be okay as well.
Yeah, we do. So we're sending you much love, much joy, much happiness. And we'll be back. We
Yes.
promise we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys have
All
a good one.
right.
Bye.
Bye.